What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new figure review. Today we are looking at the SDCC exclusive Rick Hawkins from NECA Toys. This is of course from the 30th anniversary Predator line, recently released. I didn't go to the convention, but I was able to snag him online, which was awesome. Very happy to do that. My local Target hasn't come through with any NECA figures yet, so getting this guy in the mail definitely eases the pain. Just kidding, I'm not really that concerned about when or where Target is going to get NECA figures in my area, because I have most of the ones that I've seen available at the other Target stores from people posting pictures and such. So here is Rick Hawkins. Let's take a look at the box here. You've got the 30th anniversary Predator logo on the side. It is nice and foil, as you can see. That looks really good. You've got some nice action poses of Rick right there. You've got the rest of the line, and then there you go. You've got a nice quote there, and of course a bio right there, and what he comes with. I've got some mixed feelings on this guy. He's overall pretty decent, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. We're going to take a look at the accessories, then we're going to take a look at the actual figure. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Okay, and here are his accessories. It's a little bright here, but we'll take a look at them. Like it said on the back, he comes with a submachine gun, a knife, and a pistol. So we'll start with the pistol here. And I think the paint apps on this are really good, pretty clean for how small this figure is. Of course, you can see a little bit of the misses there on the grip of the pistol, but it's got a nice little wash to it. It looks a little dirty, it looks a little used, which is a nice effect, because yeah, they're in the jungle, they're obviously seasoned soldiers, so it makes sense their weapons would have some sort of wear and tear. Here's the knife right here, which looks really good. The handle, the silver on the little butt of the handle looks really clean. Came out looking really well. My one complaint of the knife is that this handle is too small and it actually doesn't fit in his hand, but we'll get into that. And then of course here is his submachine gun, which again looks really good. Nice flat matte black paint on it. The silver clips for the strap also again look very good. You can see the detail there in the actual clip itself. For something so small, you can actually kind of make that out, which looks really good. Right there, that is a paint scuff from Hawkins' hand, which I will talk about when I get to the figure, but as you can see, there are some issues with paint rubbing with this guy when I took him out and tried to pose him with his guns. You can see some on the handle there as well. So those are the accessories. I think overall they look really good, but let's take a look at Hawkins. Okay, and here is Hawkins out of the packaging, and he looks great. The likeness to Shane Black I feel like is on point. The Coke bottle glasses look really awesome. They definitely magnify his eyes a little bit, so let's take a closer look. We're going to go over the paint apps first, and then we're going to talk about the articulation. So upon closer inspection here, you can see how nice the paint apps are and how the likeness to Shane Black looks really good. I like the camouflage paint on the side. He even has some 5 o'clock shadow. The eyes are nice and looking straight forward. The glasses kind of rest lower on his face, so when you're kind of looking down on him, he looks a little weird. But when you have him, you know, kind of looking up, or you're looking straight at the figure, I think it looks fine. Now, of course, the paint on the actual outfit is really clean, really good. The camouflage looks great all around on this figure. Not too much in terms of complaints for the paint apps. The backpack is just black. There's not really a whole lot there. It does have some silver paint on the straps right there, the buckles to the back, which is a nice little added detail, of course. And then coming down, you've got the boots as well. Those turned out really nice. I think those look really clean, really uniform. The joint hiding on this figure I feel like is especially good. You can't really see a lot of his joints. I feel like they're pretty well hidden because of the backpack straps, the lower piece right here. So overall, I mean, the quality's there. He looks awesome. But I think I just got some unlucky QC issues on my end, which, I mean, that's kind of the dice roll that has always happened with NECA and just most action figures in general. I'm not sure why people give NECA more shit than most other companies, but I mean, it does happen. So I'm not really gonna complain a whole lot because I feel like, you know, some people's Hawkins figures might not be so bad, but I haven't watched any other reviews for him, so I'm not sure if it's a widespread thing or not. So yeah, taking a look, this is what I'm talking about here. On his hands, you can see that the paint is just coming right off. He's got paint rub with the machine gun, and you can see his skin tone flaking off of his hand. I feel like this hand is a little bit worse. Yeah, you can see all that flaking right there, which is a pretty big bummer for an exclusive. His hands are just not looking the best. That's my big issue, is the hands just really look awful. We've got tons of little nicks and spots in them where you can see the black paint underneath. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I mean, from far away you can't even tell he has it, so it's really not that big of a deal. And of course, like I was saying, the knife doesn't fit in his hand at all, like unless you have him hold it at an angle, but then it's only a matter of time until it just, you know, very easily falls out of his hand. And same thing with the other hand, it's just it's too small, just doesn't fit, which is a bummer. Not that I was gonna have him posed with the knife, but I don't know, I just kind of expected it to fit in his hand and not just come with just for this. But at least he does have some knife storage right there, good weapon storage in the backpack and on the other side. He also has pistol storage. Pistol fits in just fine, so you can just stick that right in there, no questions asked, and it fits in there well. And there you go, there's Hawkins. So he does have weapon storage, which is a big plus, because, you know, the knife may not fit in his hand, but at least you can put it into his pack. So no complaints there. So let's take a look at the articulation. Of course, here we go. His head, he can look back decently. He can look pretty much just like up, which is good if he's going to be looking at a predator. And his head goes down really far as well. He can look side to side, which is also good. Full range of motion in the head, no complaints there. His arms do move out very far, straight up 90 degrees right there, which is good. Of course, the arms rotate back and forth all the way around. He does have single jointed elbows, but you do still get a little less than 90, but that's kind of what you're getting with NECA, so I don't understand why anyone would complain about that, because it's kind of the point that the joints are hidden. So yeah, the plastic bicep piece definitely gets in the way. Of course, it does swivel at the elbow. His hands are on a ball joint, so you get all sorts of good movement there from it. In terms of waist, he can move side to side, get a little bit of range of motion back and forth. So the motion is there. I'm not sure how well it would actually work in practice, but anyways, kicking out, he can kick pretty far, but of course, like most NECA figures, this soft piece of plastic right there gets in the way. Single jointed knees that give you a little less than 90 there, but again, not really a big concern for me. And he does have a swivel at the knee as well. He does also have a boot swivel here, so you can move his boot back and forth. You can hear that plastic creaking. And in terms of his foot, it doesn't have much range of motion. Can go up about that far and can go down about that far, and does have a little bit of ankle pivot. So let's put him next to a predator or two. I don't have a Dutch figure. I know that seems kind of crazy that I would have a Hawkins over Dutch, but I don't know, it just never happened. I just never found the Dutch I wanted in the wild, and I know I can get him online, but there's so many other figures and so little time. So here he is next to the Ultimate Jungle Hunter Predator. This is from NECA. This is the one they just recently re-released, and I feel like that scale makes a lot of sense. I would maybe imagine the Predator would be a little bit bigger, but I think he's big enough to where you're not going to really notice, especially if you have them posed far apart. And just because this is the only other Predator figure I have, here is the McFarlane. Let me see if I can get him posed to stand. This is the McFarlane Jungle Hunter, and you can see how much smaller he is compared to the NECA Hawkins. So if you have a McFarlane collection, I would say Hawkins was probably going to look a little out of scale, but I mean, you could have a little smaller Predator, a little baby Predator. I like having him posed with my other ones just because I just say he's the smaller one. So overall, I think this figure is really good. I would say, though, if you are planning on getting this guy, with most things NECA, he's probably going to get a standard re-release. So I would just sort of wait on that one. I would just wait on paying the aftermarket prices for this figure. It's not really worth it. I'm sure he's going to get a standard release, and maybe he just won't come with the pistol or the knife, and he'll just come with his submachine gun. But I really think it's a great figure if you were able to snag it for retail price from the con or from NECA online. Of course, he's a great figure, looks great in the collection. I feel like overall the paint apps are really good, the articulation is decent, and the accessories are killer. So that is my review of the new Hawkins from NECA Toys. Did you guys pick this one up? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of this figure? Also, drop a comment about that. Of course, I'm Nate from Out of the Basement. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more action figure news, nerdy nonsense, all that stuff we do here on Out of the Basement. And I will see you next time.